some funny stuff comes back after all these years living in Australia. One of the things we did, amongst many other strange things and strange scenes, was we before we went to Canada back in 1966, all the guys got together and we went on a kangaroo hunt. Now let me put that in perspective. The farmers in Australia really invited shooters to come on their property just before harvest time, because the kangaroos used to come down off the hills and crumple all the wheat. So they were more than happy to have people come in and take some of the population down. It was just a matter of economics. I know that this thing about kangaroos and wallabies in America is very, very sensitive, but we have a situation like with the kangaroos you folks have, like the deer. Little Bambi and all the relatives, and when I first saw a little deer, I thought, oh my goodness, how sad, they kill them. But then again, we do kangaroos the same way. But the very last time that we went on a kangaroo hunt in Australia before we went to Canada in 1966, the way to get kangaroos is to get them very early in the evening when they're at the watering hole, or very late in the evening. So there's the two opportunities. So we, about 6 or 7 of us, I guess, at the time, we went hunting, and I think it was early in the morning, and we shot a kangaroo. Actually it was a wallaby, which is a smaller in stature than a kangaroo. And it was a little mama wallaby, and in the little Joe in the couch, in the pouch. It's what they call a marsupial when animals have that. So we brought the little wallaby home. Just a little guy. Well, Mum, even though I lived in Australia for many years, spoke and sang in Russian. Now this is before washing machines. You used to hand wash on the washboard. I think you folks did it here in the United States too, way back when. And the dryer was natural heat on a clothesline. I remember clearly when the little wallaby started to find its feet, it somehow bonded with my mother, and I remember clearly. And oh my gosh, I wish I had a video of this. Mum's got a whole basket full of clothes. She's hanging up on the line, and the little wallaby's standing next to my mother. Mum's singing choruses in Russian, and it was like nothing fazed my mum. She'd raised 8 kids as a widow. A little wallaby is not going to faze my mother. That's not going to happen. So I remember having where she says, shoos the wallaby over, because the wallaby's standing in the line, and the wallaby, I remember clearly hopping over out of my mum's way, and when my mum went a little closer, she spoke to the kangaroo in Russian, and somehow the wallaby got the drift of it and hopped away. This went on for several months when the wallaby grew up, and one day there was a whole bunch of dogs on the other side of the back fence barking, and it spooked the wallaby, and the wallaby was able to do it, and did certainly do it, hopped over the back fence and disappeared. And a couple of days later we hear reading the local newspaper that a wallaby was found in the suburbs of Mortlake. Well, everybody knew it was the Clark's wallaby, but nobody said a word. And as I understand it, the wallaby was apprehended by the animal control people, and it went to the Australian Zoo. But I always cherish the memory, and gosh, I wish I had a video of this, of watching this kangaroo stand next to my mum as she was putting up the clothes on the clothesline, and mum was singing in choruses in Russian, and somehow there was this bond between my mother and a wallaby.